that they have to use their potions, they have to heal, they have to, you know, take a step back, like they aren't
push them to their limit.
invincible. I want them to have a little bit of a fear that they could die in this encounter, and I'm not trying to TPK, but I am trying to take out at least 1 or 2 of them, and maybe one might die. But I'm not trying to full on TPK and everything.
Right.
And they seem to enjoy that, where it's adventurous. There's a good battle to it. They do have a chance of death, but then they come out victorious, you know.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree. And then, I mean, in the sense, I think that, and I hope that you guys get that too, is that, like, I'll sometimes joke about being, like, it's me against you guys, but I in no way mean it that way. It's more, anything that happens is all roll of the dice for me. I don't fudge dice rolls for just because, oh, well, I think that would be, you know, Dora Morlem hasn't been here in a couple weeks and I want to punish him, kind of thing. It's just like, if I roll high, it's like, oh crap. Roland has unfortunately been at the end of most of those ridiculous rolls.
Yes.
But
I understand. So for me, is I know death is part of the game, and I'll just create a new character,
right,
and join up is what I'd pretty much do. That is, if the dungeon master would be accepting of that.
Oh, like we wouldn't try to bring our dwarf back. They brought the new guy back. They're not going to leave you in the dust.
That's true.
Oh, that's a lie. Not from what I understand.
Hey, you're guarding the front part of the cavern.
I don't know if our cleric or paladin would be too happy with me coming back.
Yeah, the pacifist paladin might be a bit wary about bringing you back.
Yeah, I don't think she likes the dwarf very much.
Not an oak.
Something about the dwarf not following burial procedures and burial rites and stuff like that, and searching for treasures and stuff with fallen comrades. You know.
Yeah, she's still a pacifist at her heart. She believes everyone's redeemable qualities until they're dead. So. Alright, well, we're going to get started. I don't know where he is at present.
Were there supposed to be 2 visitors?
No, right now, it was, Nikon was supposed to be here, but I'm not, he hasn't messaged me back, or I built this character sheet and all that fun. But, alright, let's get started. First, I guess, before I get started, I want to just give everybody a quick shout out for Extra Life. As a reminder, we are doing Extra Life all year. We already have a $15 donation toward our $500 goal, or my personal $500 goal. As a team, we're trying to get $1,000. Last year, we had over $600 in donations, all going to Children's Miracle Network. So thank you guys for participating in that. And that, again, that's going on all year. You can find that information if you go to fuzzy-squirrel.tv. Again, that's fuzzy-squirrel.tv, or twitch.tv/fuzzy-squirrel. That link is in the description, and you can either decide to participate and actively stream and do that kind of stuff, or you can donate if that's your thing. So, welcome to the stream. This is your first time. We do this every other Friday, or every Friday. This stream kind of has a floating schedule just based on everybody else's, but we do have a Thursday stream that happens every week. That is DM'd by Roland Niburu here in this particular chat. So if you guys want to check that out, that happens every Thursday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, and you're welcome to join that. So, all right. I haven't thought of a good voice yet. I got to think of a good voice.
Wait, you with food in your mouth wasn't your voice?
Nope. That was me just masticating. With the yummy treats. I had to sugar myself up so that I'm ready to go. Alright. If you must blink, do it now. Pay careful attention to everything you say and hear, no matter how unusual it may seem. And please be warned, if you fidget, if you look away, and if you forget any part of what I tell you, even for an instant, then our band of heroes will surely perish. Is everyone sitting comfortably? Please attend carefully as we begin. Alright, last time, as you guys recall, we're going to go to the Sword Coast map because we got Dormorlum here that hasn't been here in a hot second. Last time, as you guys remember, you guys have done a lot in this particular campaign, and for those who may be here joining us for the first time, this band of adventurers, the Fated Few, have made their way from Phandalin all across the Sword Coast, everywhere from Thunder Tree all the way down to Phandalin and the Wyvern Tor type area. At this present time, they have found the map. They have successfully rescued Gundren Rockseeker from the clutches of a doppelganger, and basically a captain of a hobgoblin army at Cragmaw Castle, regrouping themselves and trying to put all the pieces together for this particular mission that they had. And after having gone to Thunder Tree and meeting a druid that kind of is a resident there, and slaying a green dragon and returning with the spoils of their labors to Phandalin, the group of adventurers was attacked by a cult. And this cult essentially kind of there's some kind of a sickly illness that was permeating through the town, and the Fated Few were able to find this particular the cause of this illness, they believe, or so they believe, from Phandalin, and remove it from its mounting seat of power. From that, there was a conversation each of you were a part of with Gundren Rockseeker and Sildar Hallwinter in the town hall in Phandalin. After which, deciding that you were going to leave in the morning. Gundren and Sildar, being a little bit over-excited about the whole endeavor, headed out a little early. You guys, trying to make up time to catch up with them, were able to make good time, or excellent time for considering how far you had to go, to the Wave Echo Cave. At which time you were able to enter in through the southeast or southwestern door, where you found some kind of overbrush, some mining equipment and things, and you also had found the remains of Gundren's brother, Nundren, in this particular cave. You guys traveled throughout. You have had fights with zombies, fights with skeletons, fights with fungus, beholders, flaming skulls, magical artifices, and many different kind of encumbrances as you've kind of gone along this way. And as we left off last time, you had finished eradicating a large group of zombies in the what seems to be, from your summation, the bellows and kind of forge area where they would smelt down the metals or work the different things with the fires to power these tools that they are creating here in this mystical cavern. You guys hear again the booming rush every 2 minutes of just pulsating magic and thunderous sound that just kind of rumbles through this cave. And you find yourselves catching your breath as the room itself grows still, and the last flickering flames of that flaming skull peter out. At this point, you probably hear the scraping of boots.
I ready my weapon and turn around.
Okay. Anyone else? Right now, I know we're down.
It's just me and Vamfina. The other two are kind of talking to each other.
That's true. So the other two.
Where's the scraping coming from?
The scraping of boots, as far as you can tell. Let's see, where are you standing? You're right there. It's coming from the opposite, the room that you came from. So you hear a clump, 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 clump.
So I'm going to move over here, and I've got my sword, which is still glowing with green fire, in one hand, and I've got the glowing green torch in the other. That's providing me a little bit of protection, if you remember.
Yep, perfect. That is correct. A few of you have that for, it was an hour, is that right? Well, I guess it was variable. Did you write down the variable?
Yeah, my sword was for 9 hours, and I think
Okay.
the 12 hours for the torch.
Okay, perfect. All right, so you hear the clip. You ready your weapons. The scraping kind of stops for a minute. You're listening. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
All right.
And prepare yourself
Turn the
for.
sound down a little bit. It's kind of overbearing. Just the music and the noises, rather. And I got 15 on my perception check. Can't hear you anymore, Preston.
Up on each individual person can change the volume on it. If you go,
that's right. Okay.
I think you can go in the cog on the top right, and it'll let you shut it or turn it down.
Volume letter. Local. Okay. Good.
Okay. All right. So from here, 15 in perception. So you're listening very intently to. You hear the occasional of water hitting the ground in the distance, and you hear this kind of shuffling and scraping come to a much less hurried and much more deliberate kind of pace. But it is still echoing from the hallway down from in front of you where you're seeing. You can't see very far from as far as the torch reaches, but you can definitely hear the scraping of boots in that direction.
I'll turn to Benfina and say, I think something's coming. Get ready.
Okay.
And I'm just waiting.
And Dora Morlem, before I forget, is your screen working? Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You hear the fumbling and mumbling as he trips over a few skeletons. You see at the edge of the light, someone poke his head around the corner. Roll me a perception check. Again, and for Venfina, you can see clearly from where you're at that this is definitely Dora Morlem. You're not quite sure, Roland. You're pretty sure, but it's a dwarf. You think it's a dwarf shape. You're not sure who it is.
All right, step into the torchlight. I won't ask again.
So he says to the figure at the end of the hall.
Oi!
Oh,
Is that you guys? I heard some rustling and some tumbling, but came to check and make sure you guys are all right.
Dora, I'm so glad it's you. This place is hell.
What happened?
There were skeletons and zombies and an eldritch horror that we had to fight. It's been one mess after another. Half the team got knocked unconscious for a little bit there. It hasn't been fun. It hasn't been fun at all. But boy, am I glad to see you, Master Dwarf.
Oh, well, you mean to tell me these bodies came alive and started attacking you? Oh, you guys must have had a nice time. But no worries. Me and my axes, we'll take care of the rest.
I'll gladly back you up, my friend. I turned to everybody else, and how's everybody else looking? How's everybody else doing?
So as far as you can tell, everybody looks pretty good, relatively. Venfina and Tiger Lily are the only two that are breathing heavily or showing any sign of fatigue. So as you turn around and you're kind of proposing this and kind of seeing this, you see a culmination of purple and green light that starts as kind of a flashing spark right near where Aurora and Clandon are standing. And you just see it for just a moment, and then it kind of dissipates and goes away. And specifically, Dora Morlem and Roland would have been facing the direction that would have been able to see it.
What can I roll to identify that?
Roll me.
Pick something.
You can pick something. How it depends on what would be his instinct. Would he think to look at it as a mechanical, magical, religious?
This is a magical thing, I would think.
Okay.
And I have no idea what it is.
So you look at it and you're just kind of like, oh, you're not really sure that what you saw was anything helpful. It just
Did you see that, Dora?
See what?
The sparking purple and green thing?
No.
All right. I must be going crazy then.
so at about around this point, you see Clandon, the others. They're kind of going around, and you guys in this particular area. I don't believe there was. I'm trying to remember. I know we did experience last time, but there was no kind of looting going on. So Clandon and Aurora are kind of going around and looking at different pockets. At which point you hear a snapping sound, and that purple and green light, you see it go really loud and large, and you see the two of them just swallowed up and disappear.
What the? I saw that one. Where'd they go?
Tiger Lily looks equally irritated.
I don't know. I'm gonna try another Arcana check here.
Okay, go ahead and roll for Arcana. 15.
Nice
20.
job,
Nice, well done, both of you. So Roland, you get the sense that this was some kind of either a trigger, or perhaps it could have been something where there were not necessarily a teleportation circle, because you would expect to see runes on the ground, or and something in a more particular place. But this seems to have been a spell that you believe has something to do with transportation, moving things from one place to another. You know that these particular things usually have a pretty limited range, unless it's like a full-on teleportation circle kind of thing. And same with Dora Morlem. You as far as dwarves and things, you've known of different artifacts that dwarves and other things have made, rune stones that were used for getting around the mine quickly.
I don't know about you, Roland, but I definitely don't think that was an attack. I've seen these before, many years ago in the mines. Let me think. What do you
roll
think?
a history check?
I've seen 'em.
You can roll Dora Morlem if you roll me a history check with advantage, because it does have to do with
It seemed
stones.
like some sort of teleportation, but I don't see any magic circles or anything on the ground.
Natural 20. Okay, so you recognize these rune stones that sometimes people would call them blink stones. They usually were affixed to different specific points within the cave itself, or not necessarily this cave, but just in general, in mines in general. They were used often to either relay information quickly, or if there was a mine collapse or something, it was able to get people in or out to different areas quickly, with just basically the stuff on their backs. And sometimes it would basically have a small area of effect, if you will, where it'll pull a few people within arm's reach.
Roland, I think it'd be safe if we use these as well. We can find out where our fellow friends went.
Right. Okay. And I go over and I'll pick up. Are there rune stones around still?
So as far as you could tell, Clandon and Aurora. Yes, Clandon and Aurora were both kind of sifting through the pockets of one of these these dead zombies. The zombie is still there, but they are not. So you're not sure. Like, it could have been something in his pockets. It could have been something lodged in his skull. You're not really sure where they would have found it. But you're welcome to do a investigation.
Sure, I'll investigate and see if I can find that.
Okay. So you're looking around. It's kind of sickening, the stuff in there, Dormalm. You're looking, same thing. As you're going through these pockets and different things, you're finding different small knickknacks and things that the corpses in this room at one point were dwarvish. Some of them were dwarves, some of them were humans. You see orcs, you see other things. The specific one that they were sifting through looked to have been either a human sized person, and then the people around it, or the zombies around him, were of dwarven in nature. But looking through them, you're not finding any additional stones in this pile of corpses.
I haven't found anything, Dora. How about you?
No, me neither.
All
Maybe
right.
one of the other buddies might have something that we could use.
I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna go. Well, if these runes are meant to be quick teleportations around the mines, I'm betting we'll find them somewhere in here. I say we just continue on and try and find them.
Agreed.
Okay.
Let's go. Which way? Which way do you think we should go?
I'm gonna glance over at Venfina because I'm still like not the leader type. I'm still a rookie at this, and just kind of like, let's go south. That sounds fine.
Oh, Vivina, you're still here. Ah, what a shame.
I'm gonna like I'm just about to take my first step, and I'm just gonna like stop, like, and just give that kind of groaning, like eyes closed. Oh no, I forgot about that.
Right, as Stormwaller says that, he follows right in line with Roland.
Okay, yeah,
Come,
we're gonna go
Roland.
down.
Okay.
I'm gonna go down the hallway here.
Tiger Lily's kind of walking around,
Oh, I'll
smelling
stop
around,
and-
trying to
and
find things.
go,
She's not really
"Here,
sure.
Tiger Lily.
She kind of perks up and
Obviously
looks
don't know
around.
anything about animals.
Roll me
Well,
an
not-
animal handling
not
check.
Big, not big.
We'll see if she follows you.
Actually, my animal handling's not too bad.
10?
It's not
Ah,
great.
okay, she's friendly towards you. I'll give you advantage on it.
Okay. I will roll again then.
Okay, so 10.
Yeah, no, not
she's
any better.
she's not quite sure. But so she's kind of just pacing back and forth in the room itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not having anything Adora Morlem. She's just like you ask her to come and she kind of looks at you and like puts her nose up in the air and looks away, kind of pacing back and forth. You get the sense that she might be there, but she's not necessarily going to be following commands. She's very independent.
Yeah, even with Aurora around, she's pretty independent.
Yeah, but you see that she's just kind of worried. You get that sense in her, specifically Roland, because you rolled higher. Was that you see that you get the sense that she is unnerved by this situation.
Yeah.
That her person has
I know
disappeared.
how she feels. This is Roland's like first big dungeon crawl, and he's not doing too well in it. So I'm just gonna move into the next room unless you stop me.
Okay, so right there, as you're walking into this area.
I'll be walking right beside him as well. We'll be walking step by step.
Okay, Venfina, are you following?
Well, while they were doing their investigation, I wanted to have conjured my friend.
Okay. So during that time period, you guys see as this.
So it just depends on how long they were investigating for. If I need to, still.
I would imagine it'd probably take 10 minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes. Just trying to figure out what's going on. How long does the spell take?
It takes 10 minutes to cast.
Okay. Yeah, that should be enough time. So during this as you guys are walking away, you see kind of Venfina in this kind of trance-like state as she's standing there, and you see kind of before her this kind of swirling magic as it comes together, and you see appear before her what I don't know if anyone would really know what they are per se, but you see a different dog, not necessarily a mastiff, appearing before Venfina, and
Wasn't it like a Siberian dog of some sort? Or...
it was. She wanted to change it, so it's.
No.
Okay. So
If you're curious, his name is Vidax, and he is a Blake dog with smaller stats.
Oh, okay.
So he's a fake creature. For player knowledge, but for whatever, for character knowledge, it basically, here, let me see if I'll just pop it up so you guys can see what it looks like. Show to players. You guys see it?
Oh, nice.
So that's what he
looks
looks
like a possessed Doberman.
Yeah, like a Doberman or like a really big Great Dane or something. So that's kind of what he looks like. And you see him kind of sit down before Venfina, and he's looking at you expectantly.
Sorry, who did you say is looking at me?
Vidax.
Oh, okay.
What will you call me? You hear in the echoes of your mind.
And I'm going to assume that this is maybe why Tiger Lily was weary of me.
Okay. I can dig it. You're a dog person, not a cat person.
Yeah, it's true.
Perfect.
Anyway, okay, so now, which way were they heading? South?
They were heading south. So at this point, Tiger Lily just kind of sees your new companion friend and isn't really amused and just kind of paces around more in that room. Are you heading south with them?
I am gonna head south.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Vidax head to the west, though, where we haven't been.
Okay, so he's going to go over to the other side of the forge.
Right.
How far are you able to communicate with him?
1 mile.
Is it 1 mile? Okay. Yeah, so he should be totally fine. Because this is find steed, but not find familiar. I'm going to just do a quick check just to make sure.
I just put it in the comments now.
Oh, okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so he's within 1 mile, you can communicate with it telepathically. Okay, so you tell him, go ahead. He walks, trots, kind of over, gets down, walks over here. I need to give him sight. Sight. 3 feet. Has sight, save changes. Nope. Let me check real quick. There, he has good hearing and smell. But he's having a hard time seeing in this back part of the cavern. But he can smell kind of as he's going. He gets near the wall, comes around. What do you want him to do?
Oh, he's just going and scouting, essentially.
Okay, so he comes down a dark corridor. He's smelling. Go ahead and do a perception check for him. To do that, go to his thing and click on perception. And then while you're rolling that, Dormorlum and Roland and Venfina, as you crest down around this bottom corner of the actual room, you see deep escarpments divide the large cavern in front of you, as far as you can see, into 3 sections. There are high ledges on either end, lower section in the middle, and carved stone stairs to climb up the ledges. 2 large tables stand in the middle section, along with a pair of old braziers. A small table stands on the eastern edge, with the skeletal remains of dozens of dead warriors. Dwarves, gnomes, orcs, ogres attest to the fierceness again and the fighting that took place in this place long ago. And so as you guys come into this room, you notice that table to your left here, Dormorlum, and you see those tables way out here into the room itself. But the room itself is very low lit.
My vision stops there.
Okay.
My vision stops here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can't see it, but it's there.
Okay.
But you can see at least this table. So that's the description of this particular room to set the stage. But for what you guys can see, it's limited. Now, dwarves have.
Examine the table.
All I can think of is when they enter the mines of Moria, and he just sees all the skeletons of all the dwarves.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
No.
It's a tomb.
Okay.
And they call it a mine.
And they call it a mine.
Okay,
I'd like to examine this table.
Perception?
Oh.
Was it
Okay, do
a
the table.
wisdom check?
There's a button on the actual character sheet that you can click that says perception.
I'm looking.
Investigate. I'm examining it too.
So this is a large, heavy table. This is a large, as far as this particular thing, you get the sense that this might have been a place where the higher ups might have sat in this great hall. This is like a feasting hall, if you will. and you can still see the very well crafted, both of you, the very well crafted table. It's even throughout the test of time, it is still has its luster, if you will, its natural luster through the years. The smell of mead faintly hangs, oddly balanced with the smell of decay and just old dead things. But as far as the table, you don't see anything, no identifying marks. There's a few chops here and there from what seems to have been an axe handle or a haft from some of the nearby corpses that had engaged in battle here. But there's nothing in particular about this table that catches your eye that's different than anything else that you've seen through this cave.
Ah, good craftsmanship. Must have been fit for the leaders, captain of the guard or something.
Doesn't look like there's anybody here. We should be wary of these skeletons, though.
Are these the same kind of skeletons that attacked you guys earlier?
We've had multiple instances of skeletons and zombies, and they've been all kinds of races. I'm not trusting dead bodies at this point.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Okay.
That is a wise thing to do. If you got any fire, maybe we could catch them. Maybe burn them.
I actually, I wave my kind of green torch around, and then I take it over to the nearest body, and I see if I can light it on fire.
Okay. You go ahead, and as you're kind of lighting it and putting it down, this flame begins to lick the edges of this person's, what seems to have been a tunic. The tunic burns, but the things around, there's not really a lot of flesh on this. It doesn't move, it doesn't do anything, and it's just kind of a very low-lit, slow-burning, very dry, bone-dry corpse.
But did the skeleton move?
No, it did not move.
All right.
And I'm referring to this one right here.
That one?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so once I've done that, I'm gonna kind of tap Dora on the shoulder and say, "Down the stairs."
Down the stairs. Let's see what we can find.
And I look back to make sure that Vamfina's still following us, and hopefully Tiger Lily.
And I'll wait at the bottom of the stairs for Roland.
And what's this thing in the middle of the room? Is that like a...
So this right here, this is just a table. It looks to be a feasting table that's very finely crafted. As far as you can tell, at least from the placement, this looks to have been a great feasting hall. And this was probably where the heads of whatever departments would sit and eat.
Okay, well, before we leave, I just want to do, I guess, a perception check.
Okay. Go ahead and do a perception check. The two of you that are walking down the stairs, again, as it creeps into view slowly, from how far into this cavern you can see, you see the tables. There are old. These tables aren't quite as finely crafted. They are still very nice by all standards of this mine being a place where craftsmen prided themselves. But you do see, places where the blood has soaked into the wood and long just dried up and become blackened. You see more corpses strewn about the room. Some braziers from down here. You see a single one. More bodies and more stuff, but nothing right now is doing anything or catching your eye. Vamfina, as you're looking at what exactly are you trying to perceive or look for?
Well, there's a lot of blood. I guess I'm trying to see, does it seem like there was a battle here, or was it maybe some kind of sacrifice?
Okay.
Was there a ritual?
Okay. So
is there a bowl of Kool-Aid that they all drink out of?
So that's okay, so that's perfect. So looking at this, as you come into the room, this does not seem to have been used in any kind of ritualistic sacrifice that you would have expected. The corpses in these rooms all seem to have died in the same way that you've seen in the other rooms, where a great battle took place and they fell where they stood. It wasn't necessarily a place where, and it's not recent blood. All the blood that you would kind of get the indication and see is long dried up and blackened, or unless it has soaked into something, it's evaporated and just has stained whatever it touched.
And did you see the perception for
him? Yes.
Vidax?
Okay, so Vidax, as he's going down, he smells the smell of stone. You get the impressions of stone. You get the impressions of this, and then you get the smell of cold and kind of a metallic smell. As he kind of comes to the end of a hallway, you get the sense he kind of returns, end, door, no more, can't go. And then he kind of backtracks a little bit and continues to sniff and finds a staircase.
All right. So did he come in contact with a door of some sort, you said?
As far as he could smell. He couldn't see it, but as far as he could smell, if you want, he can do that perception. If he wants to do, like, see if there's anything beyond the door or anything else, you'd have to make another perception check. But yes, that's what he's smelling and feeling.
Okay, that's fine. He can head towards the door.
There's a closed door, and then there's
the stairs. He can head towards the stairs.
So he kind of goes to the stairs. You feel descend. He kind of goes and again sniffs. You start to hear from where you guys are at, kind of an echoing coming, echoing from to your right, Dormorlum and
who's perceiving that
Roland.
noise?
All of you can kind of hear echoing a little bit.
All right.
And
I'm gonna assume that is Vidax.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that is another creature of this deep mine that's been messing with me, and I've got my sword at the ready again. Yeah.
Okay.
And so, since I make that assumption, I shout down. It's okay. Vidax is coming back around. He found another stairway down here.
Okay. And that echoes through the hallway. You hear the kind of stop for a second, and then it continues. And then you hear kind of a...
Did Vidax hear me saying that?
Yes, when he paused, he heard you saying something. You hear kind of the tumbling of a stone of some sort. And then Dormorlum, you have dark vision, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, roll me a perception check, please.
No.
Nope. So you're admiring the handiwork of this mine. It is grandiose and wonderful. Vidax, however, you get a strong impression that he pauses, and that rock tumbling was not him. He is on alert.
All right. Y'all, I keep your swords ready. Vidax senses somebody near.
And I just hold it a little bit higher, like, okay, we're good. My
pull
sword's
out
ready.
I pull out my battle axe.
Okay.
I have a battle axe at the ready while I'm admiring everything and looking all around and just like, wow, this is something.
Okay. You guys hear kind of the prowling pounce behind you. This clattering did not come from behind you, by the way, but you do hear the soft pads of a panther land behind you.
And is that where the stone came from? Or was it
No.
in front of us?
It was somewhere in front of you in the cavern as far as you could hear. The echoing pattern would not have come from behind you. Everything is still at this moment. You don't hear Vidax sniffing. Tiger Lily comes in, seeing everyone kind of on edge, kind of sniffing slowly on the wind. Dormorlum takes a step forward. Are you just walking forward?
I'm just walking forward, looking around at everything, just admiring the view.
So you hear the scrape of boots as he kind of walks forward of the dust, and you're stepping over corpses and old rusted pieces of what used to be probably fine hefted war picks and different things in this area.
Yep. Just looking at all the dead bodies and everything.
All right. So, as you're kind of walking forward, again, you get the sense that Vidax is uncomfortable, and the thought that comes to you is eyes, many eyes.
Like many people with eyes, or just one?
Watching. Many eyes.
Are the people that do have dark vision, it's like 60 feet, right?
Yep. So, yeah.
So should we be able to see further? Or is that a perception check thing?
I could, yeah. I just turn it down usually just because a lot of times it'll show you to the end of the earth. Let's see. 60 feet. Your light emission is smaller. Is that better?
It didn't do anything.
Can you see better? I changed it a little bit.
Mine doesn't seem to be any different.
Okay, let me try this. Because that's where it's confusing. Because I have you set to being able to see 60 feet, but
I think it's
your light emission radius is...
30 and 30.
I'll do 60...
I know, that's a hard one.
Hold on. I don't know what the 60 and 30. I'll just do 60 and 60. It's gonna be pretty huge, but can you see?
I'm at 30 feet right now. That's
Yeah.
30 feet for me.
Okay.
So now it's like 60 because if you turned in any direction.
All right, let me fix that. Let me say 60.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good now.
I'm gonna give it a 180 degrees light emission. Let's see if that works well or not. How's that?
Ah, much better.
Better? Okay. Perfect. Okay, so now that we got that sorted out, and then Roland, you're still at 30 feet, right? Because you got the torch.
Yep, I'm still at the 30s.
Okay.
The 30s.
So Dormorlum and Venfina, as you're kind of walking along, Venfina, you look out, and the two of you don't, again, there's no light in this cavern. There's no, like, other than the torch that that Roland is carrying. But you are able to see, as they're starting to creep forward, these deep emerald green eyes kind of littered across the top of this row of stuff as they're slowly kind of conjuring forward toward you. And I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Wow. Oh, that was a good one. Oh, no. Stop it, Preston.
Yeah, he likes to do this.
He started really good.
He likes to roll so many initiatives. Oh my gosh. Yeah, 4 is about right for Roland not being able to see anything.
Ew.
Natural 20. Well done. Okay.
Except for it, I still only got...
Venfina,
Oh,
don't
yeah,
forget
you
to
did
roll
roll.
for... Yeah, roll for the
But I'll take it.
Videx.
Fino blink dog.
Yep.
Okay, Preston, real quick. Fighter.
What's up?
Level 5.
Yep.
When I attack,
Mhm.
I get a attack action. I get 2 attack actions
Yep. If you take the first attack action as an attack, yes.
as an attack. So if I was dual wielding, I could technically attack 4 times, right?
No.
Because if I had the 2-weapon fighting style,
So what dual wielding is you can use your bonus action as an attack with your offhand weapon. So getting the attack action doesn't give you extra bonus actions. It just gives you
Correct.
it still gives you that same one.
So
bonus
you'd basically be able to attack once, use your bonus action to attack the second time, and then use your your second action to attack.
Yeah,
Does that make
we
sense?
have a 2-weapon fighter in my other party, and I had to look this up.
Yeah.
okay.
So you'd get basically three hits on them, not 4.
3 hits, okay.
Yep.
Dump, dump, dump.
All right, so we got Vinfina, Roland, Tiger Lily, Blink Dog. It feels.
Tiger Lily Blink Dog.
I feel like we're missing somebody. We are Dormorlum.
His didn't roll in.
For some reason, it didn't
Mine
show up in there.
pop in there.
All right, give me a second.
Did you click
And
on
I'm
your
not
character and hit the
re-rolling.
initiative?
Yeah, you got to click on the button. That's okay. I'll put it in. One sec.
And I was gonna say I'm not re-rolling that.
Reroll,
Really good one.
sucker! Just kidding. So we'll say 20 there. Perfect. And descending. Perfect. All right, first things first, Dormorlum, you start to see, again, these glinting eyes looking at you that are creeping up to the edge of this what do you call it? Escarpment of stone on the other western edge of this thing. What do you do?
I shout out to Roland, Benvina, over here. We've got company. I start brandishing my battle axe, and I start going forward.
I'll spin around. Where? I don't see him.
Over here, Roland.
And then Dora goes out of the torchlight. I don't see you either.
Right. He's gone. So that's 15. How far? You've got 25, right?
Oh yeah, got 25.
So you could get up to about here.
Where are these things? Have you got markers?
So you can't. Let me. It's hard to
Or
see him
if
from
I
here.
were to
There's
get
one guy. The guy that you're seeing specifically is right here. He's on top of the hill. Right here. So he's got right now just half cover. He's poking his head and upper torso in a method that looks like he's going to crawl down the wall.
All right, I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna defend.
Can you see him now?
I can see a bit of him. Yes.
Okay.
Partial cover. Perfect.
There we go. We'll put him right there.
I'm gonna chill out right there, and I am gonna stand my ground.
Okay. All right. So you hit there, and are you for your action? Are you just readying anything, or?
I will ready an attack.
Okay. What's the trigger?
If I get attacked, I will ready. I will counter.
Okay. So
with
you're
an attack of my own.
you're readying. There you go. All right. So next up, Ghoul. This guy is going to come running down. You hear this again, just like a almost a howl, a deep guttural kind of howl that is reminiscent, kind of the echoes of just being eternally hungry. Kind of. As he comes down over this hill, he can move 30 feet, so he is going. Dormorlum, you see just this full break ghoul run and jump, just launching himself off the top of this. Excuse me, off the top of this escarpment, landing heavily. He's going to do an acrobatics check to see if he takes any damage. He rolled a 5, so he does take damage. So. So that's 3 damage. So he takes 3 damage. You see him kind of fall, and you hear kind of a sickening crack as he hits the ground. But he's on all fours, and at this point, you know, it's something like a scene out of a poltergeist movie or something. This dude's crawling at you and not seeming to care anything about having been damaged. He is going to use his action to dash and basically just get up in your face. He can't attack you, but he is going to be just right up in your face and just...
In return, I just do the same thing.
Okay. This one runs and kind of scampers off down onto the stairs and comes and runs right up to you again. At this point, he is going to swing at you with his claws. And to show you kind of what you're seeing, let me get the pop-up here. This is what you're seeing kind of approach you. All players. Save. Show to players. Can you guys see that?
Oh, yummy.
Oh, jeez.
So that's what you're saying is these sickly, deep eyes like Gollum, essentially, is what you're looking at. Gollum, just more sinewy and creepy looking. So he swings at you, and that attack is a 10. Does that hit?
That misses.
Okay. Now I need you to make... No, you don't. Okay, not on this one. So at this point, he swings at you and slashes, and you just batter him. You knock him away with one of your axes. So at this point...
Since he misses, does that trigger my attack? Or...
Yes. Go ahead and use your attack. Because he did attack you. Okay, so using Q, you use your battle axe. 17 does hit. Roll for damage. All right, and this is, you said you're dual wielding, so that's the one on the left, or the one-handed, for 11 damage.
For 11 damage to him.
Okay, so as you come around and you swing and you slash at him, his claws come out and you lob off the tips of his fingers, just all off that hand.
Ah, perfect for another necklace.
Perfect.
And does that do a full action where I get 2 hits?
No,
or is that just a single one for reaction, kind of?
I don't know how that works with a fighter, because it's on your turn you get a full action. I don't think that... I know the bonus actions don't carry over, and I'm not sure about a regular action. I'll go ahead and let me see if it has any. Hold both options.
What was the question? Sorry.
He wants to know if he can, when he holds his action, which normally when you hold your action you lose, you can't do a bonus action or anything else when that action triggers, just the action. Mm-hmm. He's wondering if that second action can also be a held action. But I think it goes away because you did not choose to attack, so you don't get that second action, right?
No, so when you... with the way that it reads for level 5 characters that can do that is when you take the attack action, you may attack an additional time.
Correct.
So if the held action is an attack action, you can attack 2 times. Is that what we're asking?
That's So whenever you take the attack action on your turn, you can attack twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically what it's saying is if you choose to take the attack action, you can attack twice.
Okay. So in this case, yes, you can make that second attack, but you don't have a bonus action for that attack.
Okay, so I do get 2 hits.
You get 2 hits, yes. So
right,
go ahead and swing at the other one. Okay, 13. That just hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
That +7 is so
nice.
Right.
Right. So you hack at him again, and at this point he's kind of pulling back away from you, but you're able to graze him straight from clavicle to hip. A nice gash across his chest.
Perfect.
Okay, Tiger Lily. She is... Let me roll. Yes, she is going to attack. Got too many things poking out in front of me. So we got Tiger. I'm getting her stuff pulled up. Tiger Lily. She can go 60 feet. Is that right? 50 feet. All right. So Tiger Lily, she goes and she is going to run full bore to this ghoul above you, and she's going to pounce on it and make an attack action. So Tiger Lily, she's going to use her claw and then pounce. Is that right? Or is it the opposite? One bite, yeah. So she uses her claw attack and pounces. He's got to do a strength saving throw. Attack 21 does hit. He rolls for... I hate doing this kind of stuff because it's just... it's just me. Hey guys, and you hit myself. 11.
I get to play tactics against myself.
Right. He does not make his throw, so she's able to make an additional bite attack on him. He is knocked prone. So he is... Boop. 6 piercing damage. So you see just the roaring a panther, the flash of yellow eyes in the distance behind you, Dora Marlem, as she leaps out of the darkness, and you kind of see in black and white the ghoul pounded to the ground, her claws on his chest, and she just bites into him, tearing out a chunk of his flesh. -3. And then next up is another ghoul. He is going to... Yes, he's going to do the same thing. He's going to have to make this roll. He runs up to you, Dora Morlem. Again, these guys are just like... You get the sense that they're crazed, ravaged undead.
They just want to eat flesh.
Yes, he's hungry.
Want man flesh.
Forever hungry. He does not make it. 1d6. And he takes 6 points of damage. So this guy, the last guy had a pretty nasty crack. This one, as he comes down, you see his knee buckle really bad, and bend kind of the wrong way. Hyperextends it, you know. So he's got a little bit of a limp, but he makes it up to you, and he's going to also make his attack using his claws. Okay, does a 9 hit?
No.
Okay, so it slashes at you. You just again deflect it, and Tiger Lily kind of bats at him to get him to back off, and he's not successful. Venfina, it's your turn. Vidax is next after some goals.
Okay. Which of these 3 in front of my companions do I have a good shot at? Can I shoot over Tiger Lily, or is she reared up?
You could. The ghouls are down on all fours, similar to the ghoul. So I mean, they'd be relatively the same height, except for the one that Dora Morlem's fighting with. He's kind of reared up and has been slashing at him.
Gotcha.
So I would say you'd probably be able to shoot at this guy, but he might have the one in the back, the one that's prone. You're not going to be able to. You'll be at disadvantage.
Okay, I'm actually... I see one up on this ledge.
Up here? Yeah, you can see him too. He's clear.
Oh, I can't see him. I want to shoot...
Oh, you want to shoot that one?
That one, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Roll your attack.
Okay, I'm going to roll my crossbow.
Alright, 14 does hit. Roll for damage. Okay. So 4 piercing damage. You shoot, and it hits him, and his face doesn't move at all. It's just still, you see the glint of his eyes in the distance, just staring hungrily in your direction.
Okay, and I'm going to speak to Vidax and tell him to watch that one.
Okay. And that's your bonus action, right?
No, it's not really an action. It's just like what we do. I don't know.
Hold on. Checking. I want to say it was an action. You can tell them something to do. But that's fine.
Oh, you're wanting to know about the controlling amount?
Correct. In battle. Because he's I mean, it's a free action. That's fine. And he's independent of you, so that's totally fine.
Right, because
he doesn't require commands.
Intelligent being.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. So, any other actions you want to take?
Yeah, I have another action that I can do.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna shoot the same ghoul guy again.
Okay. All right. So this go down there. 7 crossbow does not hit, so this one pops off into the distance.
That was disgusting sounding.
Hey, we found the ghoul sound.
Yep. That's him tearing flesh. It's actually technically a werewolf, but that's fine. Alright, so that one misses. Ghoul back in the back. Ghoul number 1, ghoul number 2. is going to... He's going to be running, and he's going to blunder past this one, doing the same kind of move. Oh, crap. I've layered them. That's enough, Mr. Werewolf. That's enough. Okay. So he runs up. I'm basically just going to, for the brevity of time, get both of these moving in the same direction. Because they're both going to make the same type of checks. This ghoul, however, is going to go down the stairs. He's going to be scampering. You see him come around the corner here. This one needs to roll his dexterity save. 16, so that ghoul makes it. You see him kind of rough and tumble, get to the ground. And then he kind of runs into the ghoul in front of you. And he is going to use his dash action to move over here onto the table. And kind of look back and just be animalistic in nature, trying to surround you like a pack of wolves kind of thing. The other ghoul goes ahead and takes his dash action, same thing. He gets up on this Tiger Lily does get a attack of opportunity.
So this is like the first time that I'm seeing these ghouls since I haven't been able to see them before.
Okay.
And I just go, oh my god.
Hey, Preston, the ghoul right here ran by me.
Okay,
So I
and then
get
you
an
also
attack
get
of
one.
opportunity.
Go ahead. Roll for attack. So you hear in the distance Roland's echoing irritation at the ghouls.
It's basically, it's like the kid in Troll 2. Oh my god. It's gone. It'll be gone. They're eating her. And then they're gonna eat me.
I just realized I was seeing that one.
There you go, Preston. He
Perfect.
took,
So
7
he's
damage.
took 7 damage, so -7. Alright, perfect. So as he runs past, you kind of sweep down at his legs, and he gets a nice chop into him. Alright, Blink Dog, Mr. Videx. What's he doing?
He is going to... I don't know. Let's see. Because he can do an attack, right?
Yes, he can. He's for all intents and purposes, based on the description that we read earlier, he's basically the same as a...
Yeah, where's his oh, bite.
Okay. So... His speed is 40.
Yes, he can move 40 feet.
Would he
can
have to
bite.
do some kind of athletics to get up that
Yes, he would.
thing in front of him? Okay. I'm gonna have him move towards that creature.
Okay. And from where he's at, he could probably do a running jump. He'd do an athletics check, but he might be able to attack from below. That ghoul is on the ledge, kind of leaning over the edge of the ledge. It would be this would be more dexterity. Just roll a dexterity check. Because he's basically just trying to pounce off that wall to get up high enough. He kind of runs, and when he does it, he's not quite able to make it up there. From that particular roll, he doesn't get quite the purchase that he wants from getting that kind of a leverage.
His distance is 40. Can he still try again to get up there?
Yeah. So he moved from there to there. Yeah, I'd say probably just take a penalty of like 10 feet. He can try it one more time.
You want me to run it or roll
Dexterity.
another dexterity?
Yeah. Because really, it's a sheer wall is what he's trying to jump up. Yes. So this time he kind of pulls back, just like you see when a dog tries to jump the fence the first time and kind of runs into the fence. He backs up a little bit. This time, gives himself extra spring, and he is able to jump in the air. He is airborne. Is he jumping onto the ledge? Is he trying to grab the ghoul and pull him down? What is he doing?
Well, I don't know. I can't see. I don't know. Is there room for him to land?
Yes, there is room for him to land. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the dynamic lighting on there. Oh, shoot. That's connected to a lot of stuff. Let me see if this does it without breaking everything. that work? You see better?
No.
That gave it also to me.
It should. I went ahead and, well, you can't see it because he doesn't have light.
I can see. I can now see all the way.
Okay. That should be perfect. So, Vinfini, you can't see it because
No.
he doesn't have light. The dog can't see as well there.
Well, I shouldn't be able to see it because I'm not controlling it.
You can see because you've got 60 feet of vision. But yeah, you just have.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's why. Okay.
Yeah,
never mind.
you can see that, but I mean, obviously, character knowledge or player knowledge, not character knowledge. Character knowledge, your guys is short, and that's up a ways.
To the stairs in that wall there. Yeah.
Okay, so Vidax is sitting next to the school. What is he doing? He can smell him. He sees him.
Right. I don't know if I want him to grab him and pull him down or stay on that ledge. Are there like other ghouls around him?
He can't see. He doesn't have a light source. He can smell.
Yeah, but...
And he smells the ghoul immediately in front of him in the glint of his eyes, but he's not getting... He can do a perception check. Is he listening? Is he smelling? Is he trying to see? What is he trying to do?
He's a dog, but I'm sure they use their senses all the time. I don't know.
Okay, if you're doing it with... Because the reason I ask is because he has keen hearing and smell. If he does... anything that requires hearing or smell, he has advantage. But right now he's very much blinded, like a human would be in this situation. So if he with 12, if you want to roll one more time, I'm assuming he's doing a smell, right?
Yeah.
He from where he's at, he doesn't smell any other in his immediate presence. He smells the stench of just undead nastiness in front of him.
Okay, well, and then he's gonna jump up there and stay up there.
Okay.
And do a bite attack.
Okay, go ahead and roll the bite. 20 does hit. Roll for damage. Click on attack. 6 piercing damage. Okay. All right, so that's Videx's. And now the last ghoul that's kind of sitting over here, he's basically going to do a flying leap onto this other ghoul to see if he can get to you. And he's going to roll a dexterity check.
Oh, can I have him, like, smack him down the hill?
If that was your attack.
Right, like when he hits him.
That would be like a... It would be like, so if you want to influence, like push somebody or grapple or those kind of things, those are the action he would need to take to do that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, for flavor, he could have been pushed a little closer to the edge, but in order to influence
it's
it.
just a pretty strong attack, I wondered.
Yeah. So the ghoul rolls a natural 20 on his dexterity check. He's basically kind of lands on the shoulders of this other ghoul, who's going to do a strength check to see if he can support him. Strength check of 13. Yeah. The ghoul that you chopped his fingers off, he's going to take 1d4 on that bludgeoning damage. Roll 1d4. As this ghoul's just again, these animalistic in nature, he takes 4 damage.
I kind of look in awe on that.
And you hear his spine crack a little bit, and this other ghoul is going to slash at you with his claws. The one that had just kind of pounced on his back.
Okay.
19, does that hit?
That hits.
Okay, so I need you... That's 8 slashing damage to start with. I need you to succeed a Constitution saving throw of 10. Or you will be paralyzed for 1 minute. Okay, so you succeed. So you start to feel this creeping... your joints start to tighten up and what have you from this slash. And you shake it off. Your anger and the adrenaline is pumping hard enough that it doesn't take effect.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
Roland, it's your turn. Dormorlum, you're on deck.
Wait, I'm here? I'm doing something?
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. I actually get a turn.
Right?
Just at the bottom of the list.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead. There's a ghoul up on this table.
Yep.
Does it look like it's aiming for me?
No, right now everything they see, as far as it looks like a bunch of pack of wolves is circling around Dora Morlum.
And how does Dora look?
It
looks like he's holding him off pretty well.
I've taken 4 damage from.
You can't really see him from here, so I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna move up so that I can see Dora.
Okay. So you kind of walk forward.
Yeah, I'm getting fairly close to this ghoul, but I'm trying not to actually do anything. I'm gonna go ahead and we're going to cast a first level spell.
Okay, go for it.
We are going to cast Shield of Faith on Dora Morlun.
Okay.
Ah, thank you.
So you get a +2 bonus to AC for the duration.
Yep. So you definitely can see him. You see him just kind of as you were coming up, he's slashing things back and forth. You see him take a little damage. You cast the spell.
I raise the torch, and it's a green fire torch, but crackling green lightning comes off of it and starts like dancing around him in the shape of tiny like cog shields.
Okay. So you see this floating around your door.
I'm going to take the torch and I'm going to throw it or just kind of wave it in front of me, and I'm going to cast Sacred Flame from it, so a green flame shoots out at this ghoul.
So you see this blaze go through.
Yeah. This
all right.
That would make sense.
This ghoul is cool.
Is...
Too cool for school.
So he has to make a dexterity saving throw.
All right. Here's going
no benefit from cover.
Dexterity. He rolls a 7.
Okay, and my save is, this is a cleric, so it's 13. So woohoo! Let me just. Wow, nice. He takes 11 damage.
Very nice.
Radiant damage.
Very nice. And he is undead. Is there any undead effects to that?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. So you see this green flame envelop this ghoul, and you hear as he's kind of dancing around Gollum-like on all fours, and he spins around in your direction and spits and just.
Oh crap.
Okay. Is there any other actions you want to take?
Nope, that is move, major, minor, so we're good.
Next ghoul is going to attack the dog that just attacked him. So he goes ahead and he turns and he bites. That is a 14. Does that hit Videx? Yes, his AC is 13. So that's 10 piercing damage. Hey. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so he goes ahead and he does 10 piercing damage, and then I also need you to go ahead and roll a Constitution save.
What's the difference between his saves?
With those ones, there's not a big difference between saves and whatever. So just roll a Constitution check, and if it's greater than 10... It's 14, so it succeeds. So Vidax, you know, same thing as it bites into the flesh on his neck. He starts to feel himself seize up a little bit, and just shakes it off. Looks at the ghoul angrily, and the ghoul pulls back with a little bit of tufts of fur in his hair. Dormorlum.
He's funny ghouls.
They could have been a traveling band of performers before they became ghouls. This is the Flying Graysons.
They come out wielding guitars.
Robin could be one of these guys. You never know.
Kill him. Wait, which Robin?
The Killing
I guess
Joke.
it would be Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson, yeah.
No, that'd be fine then.
Dormorlum, it's your turn. And this is the top of the round.
All right. So I will attack the one that I attacked earlier. That would be... Yeah. This guy here.
Okay, go for it.
13.
All right, 13. Hugh, battle axe. Go ahead and roll for damage. That does hit. Now remind, which one was it? I didn't see the ping.
Slashing. Yeah.
Sorry, which one are you attacking? The one under or the one above?
Under. The
Under?
one that I got the pink
Okay,
with.
so that is like total overkill for him. How do you want him to die? He's already been he's broke his leg on the way down. You chopped his fingers off. He just got pounced on by another ghoul. How do you want to end his miserable existence?
Well, at this point, he's low enough that I decapitate him.
Okay, so he's kind of sitting there. The other ghoul is standing on his shoulders, and you go to lob, and the other one is going to make a dexterity saving throw since his feet are next to his head. 16, it does make it. So he jumps up into the air, seeing what you're doing, and the other one just goes as the head kind of rolls off into the distance, and he's dead.
At that point, I yell, "Roland, that's one."
So he's dead. I'm gonna move these guys.
Oh, we're doing this. 0 for me so far. Although I think I killed at least 2 before you got here, so that counts.
That still only counts as one.
That still only counts as
Then
one.
we're even.
And then I spin my next 2 attacks attacking the one in front of me.
Okay, perfect. Go for it. So you roll your bonus action. 12?
12.
Just hits. Go for damage.
So 12s will hit. So 5 slashing for him.
Yep, 5 slashing.
And an additional 9. Total of 14 damage to the guy in front of me right there.
Okay, so as you're coming in with the 5 plus this, yes, so both hit 5, 9, that's 14. Go here. So he comes down, and before the other ghoul kind of falls to the ground and poof, hits the ground completely cold stone dead, he comes down 3-point landing style and looks up at you. And just is completely not ready for the rain of attacks that are coming. So you just whack, hit him both sides, once on each shoulder. You see deep gashes into the sides of his arms as he kind of spatters a little bit and pulls back. And what else are you doing? Do you still have movement?
And that no, I don't move anywhere.
All right,
I stay right there.
So next ghoul, this one's looking at Tiger Lily, is going to swing at her using a slash attack or its claws. So he turns and she kind of pulls back from him. It is a 17 and does 9 slashing damage. So you hear her.
Tiger Lily dies and Aurora's not around.
I know. I know. It's true. It's true. So she does take the damage. And he slashes. She's going to roll a. Let's see, Constitution save here. Constitution 12. She makes her Constitution save. So she starts to feel that same thing as it kind of starts to creep up on her, but then she's able to shake it off. The other ghoul is dead. Tiger Lily's turn. So at this point, Tiger Lily is going to take the disengage action. And she's going to disengage and full bore book it back here to Benfina, looking very hurt, limping heavily. Okay. Ghoul.
No.
The next one, seeing that you see this next ghoul right here above you. He kind of looks up over the pounced corpse of the other guy, and he looks her direction, and in his direction, just kind of and he comes at you with a bite. Dormorlin. So 7 misses.
Misses.
But you leveled up. I heard it.
I know, I did too.
I don't know if you guys can hear that. There's a little Mario coin in here that every time I touch anything, it goes crazy. All right, so that's the end of his. Benfina, it's your turn. You see Panther bounding towards you limpingly, if that's even possible.
Okay. I'm gonna use my lay on hands to heal her.
Okay. And how many do I need to put in her?
I heal her until I feel like she is whole.
Until you feel like she is whole. Okay. Let me look at her points. She has 20 hit points naturally. She's at 2. So how many do you want to spend?
She needs 18 hit points?
Yes.
Okay, I can give her 15.
Okay, so she takes 15. So you lay your hand on her, and she kind of winces at your touch. Again, still a little bit freaked out that Aurora's not here, but she feels your touch, and you feel her relax. All her muscles that were once tense, you see some of the wounds start to close up as it kind of comes back together. And this, you feel the divine energy channeling through you. Now, what do you do?
Now I am going to raise up and shoot the ghoul that is by Vidax.
Okay. So you go ahead and you pull up your bow.
I'm gonna guess that's a hit.
Okay. She shoots 21 hits, 6 piercing damage, and which it was the one on the table, correct?
No, the one that's up by Vidax.
Oh, one by Vidax. Holy cow. Penelope. Hold on. Mute mic. Joys of having a 2-year-old.
Yep, my eardrums are gone.
Mine too. Mine too.
My wife turned over to look at me from the next computer, so she heard that.
Blah! Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you need hearing specialists, it's not my fault.
Donate to Extra Life, and maybe you'll get some hearing back.
Yeah, donate to Extra Life, and then you can help kids that also can't hear and need help. Which is not my children. They need to lower their voices. So she's done that. Becca, are you doing another attack?
No, my other action was my lay on hands.
Your lay on hands was your other action. Okay, so next is the ghoul. Where's the ghoul that's too cool for school? This is the ghoul that turned, and he's looking at you right now, Roland. So he turns in, and he's going to leap at you and make his slash, or no, he's going to do a bite attack.
Stay back.
So he jumps at you. 14 damage.
14 damage?
I'm sorry, not 14 damage. 14. He rolled a 14 for his attack.
Okay, yeah, no, I waved the torch in his face and make him back off.
He actually did 30 damage. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
14 misses, but he does
Okay.
30 damage.
Okay,
anyway.
so he comes in, and as his mouth, you see these jagged, crooked teeth come down. You put your shield up, and he just bites, and you hear the scraping of just old ivory teeth just chipping away at your shield.
It's actually my torch right now. I don't have my shield.
I'm sorry, your torch. So he bites into the torch, and you hear the what normally would be the sound of munching on wood and the crushing sound of just as it kind of bites in. You feel like the magical resistance of the item itself that you have recently acquired has pushed back. So the other ghoul, this one is going to do the same thing. He's going to leap from this table here. Seeing that there's more prey, he's going to leap to this table.
Oh no.
And let's see if he makes it with a dexterity save.
Yeah, what did we all have in our weapons?
Natural 20. So he perfectly just runs, leaps, lands, and he's going to bite at you from the other side.
Crap.
4! He rolls a 4. So you're ready for the first one, and you just kind of pull the torch a little bit to the other side, and now you got 2 of them just latched onto this torch. It's like a game of tug-of-war with a really nasty-looking dog. Blink dog, Vidax. What are you doing?
Nasty-looking dogs.
Okie doke.
Good
He's
segue.
going to he's gonna attack.
Okay,
Same guy.
go ahead and roll your attack. 16 does hit. Roll damage. Okay, so he takes damage. You see him. He bites at him, and you see it again. The piercing damage. The ghoul doesn't seem to take notice. He just keeps staring, just wildly at Vidax like hasn't seen food in a very long time. Next up, 7. Holy cow, that's a lot of kids. Congratulations. We only have 3. Someone from the chat said was talking about the baby. She's sweet until she screams and then makes her ears bleed. Roland, it's your turn.
It is nice, wonderful. crap. I'm going to spin the torch out of their grip, and then I'm just going to wave it in front of them and kind of send a blast of green fire out in a word of radiance. So each creature of my choice within 5 feet of me, which is both of them I'm choosing, they have to make a Constitution saving throw, or they take 2d6 radiant damage.
All right. Perfect. So as you're doing it, what is
It's
all
13.
that you can see?
Yep, 13 is the DC for Constitution.
All right. So I need to do it for all of them that you can see, right?
No, just the 2 next to me.
Two next to you.
Everyone adjacent to me. Yep.
So we'll do 2 dex. The Constitution, you said? The first one rolled a natural 20.
Of course.
The second one rolled a 2.
Okay.
So I'm gonna count. The first one is the top one that's been doing his thing, and then the second one is gonna be the one down lower. So he takes 1d6. Go ahead and roll your 1d6 radiant damage.
It's actually
9.
2 because I'm level 5.
Oh, you're right. 2d6. So he takes 9 radiant damage. At which point, as how do you want him to die? Because that guy's
basically
dust.
this green fire just ignites him and just burns the top half of him away.
Okay,
I love this
so
flame.
you see him, and you kind of put your hand, and it's just you see this typical Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark ending scene where he's just top half of him is gone, nothing left, and his bottom half falls to the ground dead.
Nice.
So that's 2 down. Roland, do you have any other actions or bonus actions? It's up to you.
No, that's everything.
All right. Ghoul number 3 up here is going to attack Vidax. He's going to bite. Basically, they're just like, he bites him, and then he pulls back. And then the other guy bites him, and he pulls back. It's your turn. Bite me. 12. Does that hit? Against Vidax.
Sorry, Vidax.
I think he's a 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he snaps at him, and Vidax pulls back, and he's not able to get purchase on him. So the ghoul just kind of... Dormorlum, it's your turn.
Alright, so I've been looking up some things, and I need to do a couple things real quick. Alright, I need to use my weapon bond, and
Okay.
I need to pop my Warhammer into my offhand.
Okay.
So then on my main hand, I have Hugh. My offhand, I have my Warhammer.
Okay.
That's how... That I should have been using my Warhammer as a second attack.
Okay.
Instead of
Oh, I
Hugh
getcha.
all 3
That makes
times.
sense.
It's supposed to have been Hugh, Warhammer, Hugh.
Yeah, that
That's
makes
how it
sense.
should have been.
Okay.
So I've been doing some research while we're going through all this.
No worries.
So
I appreciate
that's
it.
how it'll be. It'll be Hugh, Warhammer, Hugh.
Okay. And it gets
then
which
I
one?
need to make sure that whenever I do my Warhammer, my ability modifiers attached to my damage of my Warhammer.
Okay.
That's my second attack.
Okay.
So, all right. Now that I've got housekeeping done, all right.
Perfect.
Now to attack the ghoul in front of me with Hugh.
All right. You pull it back. You bring it down. Roll your attacks.
Grab a coin.
What? I'm trying to click it. What's going on? Hold on.
You've got to click it. And click it good.
There we go. Two hits. He does 5 slashing.
Okay.
And then I come down with my Warhammer for a 1-2 punch.
That hits as well. Roll for damage.
That'll be bludgeoning.
Okay. And this is the one that's directly in front of you, right? The one that has been
Yes.
dancing like a whatever. Okay.
That guy right there.
Okay, so with the second hit, you come in with your Warhammer, and when so the first one you're coming. Are you right-handed or left-handed? Dormorlum.
I bossed you there.
Would Dormorlum be right-handed or left-handed?
His main hand has Hugh and he's right-handed.
He's right-handed. Okay, so he comes in with Hugh, and you see him. He splits it right into the chest cavity of this ghoul, and the ghoul kind of reaches forward towards him, and then with the second one with the Warhammer, he comes to the side with Hugh still stuck in the side of his chest, and just clobbers him in the side of the head, and you see the warhammer plunge itself deep into the temple of this ghoul as the green ichor light that was flickering in its eyes slowly burns out, and he dies.
That's two, Roland.
Well, I got one, so I got catching up to do.
So he pulls limp.
Why don't you just leave the rest for me? I got it. Sure, fine.
Pull your stuff out. Or what do you do with the third one?
This guy right here, is he...
He's prone.
He is prone?
Yep, he's still prone.
I'm going to attack him with Hugh, because that's...
Okay.
That's crit. Or not crit, that's it. What is that for being prone?
I believe if you... Let me look at it real quick.
I can't remember if it's insta crit or if it's...
I'll just verify, make sure. Prone.
I get advantage of my attacks on advantage. That's what it is.
Yes. You are correct.
I knew there was something. I just couldn't remember
Basic
what.
rules.
All right.
Unconscious, stunned. Yeah, so he's not stunned, he's not restrained. So just advantage if you're within 5 feet.
Perfect.
And it has disadvantage on it. So you have advantage. That's 21. That does hit. Roll for damage.
I slice down with my right hand because he's perfect to the right of me, and just slice at him on the ground.
Okay, so you bring it down, and that's 8 slashing damage. So as he's kind of laying there, you bring it down, and you see the sparks as Hugh goes through the sinew on the shoulder of this ghoul as it hits the rock and stone below, and ching as it comes across. The ghoul itself kind of recoiling, just kind of writhing on the floor, not quite in a defensive position. So at that point, that same ghoul is going to regroup and use half of its movement to stand up. And he is going to leap at you and try and bite you again.
Okay. Hey, Roland.
Yep.
18?
How's your concentration?
I have not been hit, so my spell is still active on you.
Yes.
Okay.
So is it disadvantage with that Shield of Faith?
Nope, he just has a +2 to AC.
Okay, so make sure you add the +2 to it. This ghoul just rolled a 18. Does that hit?
That actually misses with my dual wield.
Perfect.
That gives me a +1, and boom.
All right, perfect. So he goes, as he's kind of biting at you, you kind of sidestep him out of the way and kind of get ready for the next blow to come in. Tiger Lily, she's feeling a little more sprightly. You guys see as a black panther bounds up onto this table and then stalks slowly down to the edge. As Dormorlum, as he kind of bites and pulls back, she leaps off the table and is going to try and attempt a pounce attack from behind. So she's going to pounce. Moves at least 20 feet. Creature. So it did not hit with the claw attack. So she went and tried to claw attack at him. The pounce was not successful. And this basically she kind of comes up at him, and he kind of sees this thing coming. So at this point he's looking from you to her to him, to basically just kind of get him surrounded. What's up?
Did he not succeed on a strength saving throw?
She has to move and hit it with a claw attack on the same turn.
Oh, he didn't hit it. Oh.
She didn't hit it, so the claw attack didn't take effect.
Perfect.
So he's basically looking between the two of you, and at this point now.
But wouldn't that be? Sorry for interrupting.
I'll go. What's up?
Would that be advantage on the attack since he's in combat with me and fully engaged with me?
I believe that would be making it so that the rogues would be useless, because I believe that's one of their skills. I mean, I agree with you on the principle that he's engaged with you and that you're fighting on two fronts, but I think that might negate the usefulness of rogues if we did.
Fair enough.
If that makes sense. Because I want to say is it sneak attack or I can't remember what it is. Anyway, there's skills that relate specifically to rogues when it comes to they're engaged in combat with other people. So.
Yep.
let's see. So this other ghoul is going to go ahead, and he's the one next to you as well, right here. Boop. He's going to slash. This one's going to try and claw attack at you. And that is a 11, so it misses. So he claws at you, and you just deflect it out of the way. Venfina, it's your turn. Blink Dog's up next. After the ghouls, but...
Alright, I'm going to... Okay, I don't see... So Tiger Lily moved up there. Do I have a clear shot of the one that's in front of her now?
Yes, you can see this one very clearly. Well, as clearly as someone with dark vision can.
Right, so if I shot him, I would have a clear shot, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm going to shoot him with the crossbow.
Okay. He's 35 feet, crossbow's 60 to 120, is that right? Let's see.
Yeah.
It's 100 to 400. I was wrong. Okay, so yes, 12 barely hits. Go ahead and roll for damage. You see him going back and forth, looking between the two of them. At which point, Dormorlum, you look to the side and you see the ghoul kind of look that way, or left, right, left, and then he just kind of stops, and you're not really sure what's going on. But then you kind of you hear clattering in the distance over to the west, a bolt that has gone right through his head, and he falls to the ground dead. So he goes, just drops to the ground in front of you. All you hear is that whistling sound. The whistling sound of things flying in the wind. Now, Venfini, you have another action.
I do. Alright, I'm gonna shoot the one that's behind her. So did the one that I just shot, did he fall down?
The one that you shot, he's dead.
Right, but has he like fallen
yes,
over?
He
now I have a clear shot of the other one?
Yeah, you'd basically take another breath, and in that moment, he's fallen to the ground, and you can see clearly the one behind him that is slashing at Dormorlum.
Okay, so he's attacking Dormorlum. I'm going to... I'm gonna shoot at that one.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack. Penny, you're being loud, baby.
Uh-oh.
Does not hit. Roll me a d20, please.
Uh-oh. Don't hit me. Don't hit Dormorlum.
Okay, 13. All right. Okay. So, as you're kind of firing this one specific bolt, you're shooting, and as you do so, this bolt has an imperfection in it that as it's being forced up the trough that it sits in, as it goes through, you see it kind of split two ways, and it gets jammed into the end of your crossbow. And so right now, you've got a crossbow bolt that is stuck in the end of your crossbow, and you're going to need to clear that before you can shoot another crossbow bolt from this crossbow.
Suck it out.
Okay. So ghoul. This ghoul right here is going to he's going to swing at you again, Mr. Roland. This time he's going to use his claw attack.
All right, let's do this.
And that is a natural 20.
Of course it is.
So 5 plus 6 slashing damage. So that is going to be a total of 11. And then you need to make a Constitution. You need a Constitution save of 10, or you're going to be paralyzed.
And then a concentration check is...
Yes, and a Constitution. Okay. So concentration. Go ahead and make a concentration check.
Oh yeah, which is what is a concentration check again? I don't do this very often.
Concentration. I think it has its own thing, doesn't it? Let me check.
Is there a concentration?
It's
Yeah, I think you...
Constitution.
10 or above.
I think it's your Constitution is the modifier. I think you're right. There's no concentration check. It's a Constitution check, essentially. triple check this.
Okay, so just a Constitution check for that as well.
Yep. I'm verifying just to make sure I'm not misremembering.
Yeah, I don't remember on that one.
Constitution check. Oh no.
That is my penny right there. She's beautiful.
Just calls Arcane, Logolith, Earthquake, before.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
On a Constitution saving throw, yes, your concentration is broken. And that's usually equal to the, was it half the damage?
We lost you there, Preston. Equal to the what?
Can you hear me? Okay. So the Constitution, it's a failed save. I'm trying to remember. I'm in the back of my head. I'm remembering. I think I have it down here.
Let's see.
I think it's half the damage that was taken for those concentration checks. Security areas.
Take damage while concentrating
Here
on
it
a
is.
spell. You must make a Constitution saving throw. The DC equals 10, or half the damage you take, whichever number is higher.
Yep. So half the damage that you took
So it's 10.
is 10. Yes.
Because yeah.
So go ahead and roll your concentration or Constitution. If it's higher than 10.
I am so bad.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So as
It's like my second highest. Well, it's not my second highest. It's like, man, that is just awful.
I feel a little
These
bit more
paladins.
vulnerable at that moment.
Okay.
Yeah. So I go paralyzed first of all.
So you start to
And
see,
so,
you're feeling
yeah,
you go stiff as a board, and what do you do?
I seize up, and I'm in like this pose where my torch is like in front of me, and I'm bringing my sword back, and all of a sudden, like my eyes just kind of flash, and those green sparks just disappear from around Dora Morland.
You hear the
Uh-oh.
as it stops, and you feel you see the ghoul in front of you. He kind of licks his lips and kind of stalks a little bit side to side, and Blink Dog, it's your turn.
Oh. Okay. He's gonna bite at this ghoul. Hopefully one last time.
Here's this for you, just in case. All right, so he bites, and as he snaps at him, this ghoul kind of they're starting to play with each other, in the terms of just kind of this cat and mouse. They're getting tired, yeah.
That's what's happening.
All right, so you can't move or speak if you're paralyzed.
Yep.
Ooh, that auto crit.
Now it says specifically moving or speaking. Any attack within the creature, so anything it attacks. Would that mean that you could still do an attack? That's where I'm not sure. I think you might be able to still attack because it says you can't move or speak.
Yeah, an attack is. Technically, an attack has like a somatic component, which is like movement
true.
or.
That's true.
Or,
Okay,
like
so
gestures.
I guess then that this particular
it limits
turn
me to spells that I can cast without those. Specific.
Okay.
So I need.
Do you have anything that you want to try and do?
Somatic. Verbal. I mean, there's nothing here that doesn't require at least a verbal command. I don't think so. I'm just checking.
Okay, no worries. I'll give you a second to. Otherwise, at this point, you know, all you're seeing is this spider-like movements of this ghoul staring you down, licking its chops like you're its next meal.
And there's no save or anything for it.
According to this paralyzed, let me look at hit the ghouls.
Yeah, the ghoul might have like at the end of each turn they can make another saving throw or something.
So right here, ghouls. If the target creature or if the target is a creature other than elf or undead, it must succeed a DC 10 Constitution saving throw or be paralyzed for 1 minute. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on a success. So go ahead and roll another Constitution.
Okay, yeah. So I just spend the turn trying to. I just kind of close my
Trying to
eyes
shake it
and
off.
silently pray to God for the strength to shake
Please,
this off.
please, oh please. Okay, so
And I roll a one.
So you feel, as you're kind of saying this silent prayer, you don't feel the immediate effects, but then you feel the cogs, so to speak, start moving again, as you start to regain slowly into each of your limbs the feeling of movement. And that is the end of your turn.
Okay. What was that?
This ghoul up here is going to make another attack at Vidax. He's going to bite. 15 attack, and that is 10 piercing damage. And Vidax needs to make a Constitution save for me, please. Okay, 6 does not make it. Vidax, you feel in Venfina hears kind of this a little bit of panic of help, 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 as he freezes, and this other ghoul again looking at Vidax as the tasty morsel he is. Dormorlum, it's your turn. Then Tiger Lily.
Well, when he dies, he's not gonna
Top of the round. It's top of the round.
What?
Okay.
You want me to re-roll that? Or I didn't mean to do that in advance.
It's fine. I just take the left one is what I do.
I think either one hits, right?
Yeah, either one hits. It doesn't matter.
Alright. So do 6 slashing damage with Hugh.
Okay. And that's the one that's in front of you?
Yep. The only one left standing.
Okay. So you hack into him. Come for the second one. He kind of bobs and weaves out of the way. Whiffs over his top of his head.
And come down with Hugh once again.
Come down, and he dodges out of the way. And as you come down with Hugh for the second time, you see again the sparks as your blade reflects off the stone floor beneath you. So you see this little bit of light in the distance, Roland.
Man, that was bad.
Tiger Lily, she's going to also kind of come up. She's going to attack him from behind. It's not far enough for her to... Actually, she's going to do a wind-up. She's going to go up and around, and then she's going to pounce on him from behind like a jungle cat would.
Wind up and the pit?
So she's going to make her claw attack. 14 hits. She's going to roll for damage. That's 6 slashing damage. And on this guy, this is my 6, she makes a bite attack as well. Because of that, and he needs to make a strength saving throw. But it doesn't matter because she basically comes in, and you see, all you see from your perspective, Dormorlum, through the darkness, is you see the nose of a cat come up right around the brow line of this ghoul, and then you just see the scalp of it just peeled off like a Snickers wrapper.
And I put both my warhammer and battle axe in front of me and just kind of keep the spray off of my face. So
he falls, and you just kind of a sickening thud, and you see her just kind of spitting it out and trying to get the nasty ichor out of her mouth. And Tiger Lily is victorious. She kind of sits in front of her prey, using her paw to just kind of bat at its face.
I look at her and say, "Good girl." See if I can win some.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh.
Or animal handling. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, she looks at you with a lot less indignity as she did before. More respect.
I think a little bit more of a warrior's respect.
Yes, a warrior's respect. She sees what you did, and she sees that you recognize that she was her prowess in battle. All right, Venfina, it's your turn.
Dan?
Yep.
Ma'am.
You're reading down the ranks.
I'm going to shoot at that one by the axe.
Okay. So go ahead and shoot. Roll your attack.
Do I have to get that thing out of my crossbow?
Actually, you're right. If you're going to do that for your first action, you're going to need to unjam it. So roll a d20, and anything higher than a 10 succeeds, we'll say. Because you're doing it, like, if it was just normal, you'd just be able to unjam it. But right now, you're kind of in the middle of battle trying to do this thing. So you're...
Sorry, what do I need to
D20.
roll?
Just roll a d20. If it's above 10, it succeeds. And then I will I will consider that an attack, part of your attack action, and you could take a second attack after that.
Okay, then I'm
Similar to that of like gunslingers when they do unjam.
right here, and I'm going
Okay.
My 30, and then I'm going to face step
Okay.
over to this dude.
Okay. Go ahead, and so you're going to run 30. So right here, and then you face step next to him. Okay, so we're go ahead and move your guy right here. And your crossbow's where the little red X is.
Cool.
Okay, and then what do you do?
Now I'm going to glaive attack that dude.
Okay, roll your glaive, roll your attack. I'm not really sure why the kids always need something when it's Becca's turn. But it seems like it's a regular occurrence. 22. All right, roll for attack.
She tells them exactly like. Start speaking.
All right, guys. As soon as you hear me talking.
They need something.
All right, 9 slashing damage. So you come up from behind. What form are you in? Are you in autumn, winter?
Oh, I face down. Yeah. Okay, so before I made my attack, he was done.
Shh, Penny. Penny. Shh.
He needs up to two creatures of my choice within 10 feet must succeed on a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Of 8. Oh, it's actually of 12. Or they're charmed by me for a minute.
I don't know if undead can be charmed.
No, he is. Let me double check. I think he's immune to being charmed. He's immune to being charmed. So you're not what you would normally affect. It doesn't necessarily charm him. But as you come out, you see this this flash of like autumn leaves and swirling in the wind. You come out with your glaive, you make your attack, stab him in the back, and he's, at this point, looks back at you with, like, almost neck break speed as his head turns without moving his body, like that of an owl, and he's looking at you from down his spine, I guess you could say. So he's looking at you, yeah, very creepily. What other attacks? You have one more attack.
He's not dead yet?
Mm-mm. He's very close, but he's not dead. Well, technically he's undead, so he's already been dead.
He's only mostly dead.
He's mostly dead. I'll be fine in a minute, though. I feel happy.
Whatever, I'm just gonna, like, go up and stab him with my dagger or something.
Okay. So for your second attack, you stab him. Roll your attack. Sophia, we can still hear you. It's still your mom's turn. Go away. 0 piercing damage. Alright, that is a finesse weapon. You can use your dexterity modifier, not your strength modifier. Becca? What's your dexterity modifier? Because that should be a 1. Ding!
3.
Okay, so a +3?
My dexterity modifier?
Yes. So it should say dexterity, whatever number you have, and then the smaller number.
Yeah, it's a 3.
It's a 3. Okay, so that would be 4 total damage. So how do you want this one to be eviscerated?
I'm really close
He's dead.
quarters. I was so fearful that he was gonna kill Vidax.
Okay.
And I whisper, don't mess with my friends.
Ooh, the darker side of the paladin comes to surface. Alright, so that's the end of Enfina's turn. She, like a mother hen defending her cubs. They're 2 different animals, but that doesn't matter. She kills the ghoul. The ghoul topples off the edge of the cliff.
Mother hen is like, you won't take my cubs.
Alright, so now it is Ghoul. This Ghoul is looking very, very pleased with itself. He is going to slowly, almost, thanks. He's gonna slowly look at you and kind of come forward and lick your face. And he's gonna take a bite in your shoulder. Let's see, with the parallels, Automatically strength and dexterity save, throws fail.
It's
Attack rolls.
crit.
Then critical hit if the attacker's win. Yep, so it does. It has advantage, so it rolled an 8 and a 17. 17, does that hit? A sloppy wet ghoul kiss, yes.
Poor Roland.
Oh, sorry, was that the one on me?
17, yes, that's on you.
No, that misses actually.
Okay, so he
Wow.
if you've ever watched
got
the
really good armor.
Rescuers Down Under, when that little lizard goes to try and eat the egg and it breaks its tooth on the rock, this is basically what's happening. He's like, and he goes hi to bite, and his teeth, you hear just a sickening crack as he bite as your pauldron breaks a few of his teeth, and he kind of he spits them out and looks at you again, takes another lick.
Sorry, buddy.
Haunter, you
It's super effective. Blink Dog, go ahead and make a Constitution check for me, please. Vidax.
Good grief.
So he is still under the effect of this paralysis. He's not able to move. All you're really seeing is his eyes kind of widening a little bit, looking at you, looking down off the cliff, and hoping that he doesn't end up toppling off of it in some form or fashion. Roland, it's your turn.
All right. I am going to take my
For a
sword
minute.
and I'm going to
Till he gets
shove
over
it
10.
at this ghoul.
Okay. Go ahead.
And this is actually this is with an additional
Hey, Roland, aren't
22.
you paralyzed?
No, he's not. He rolled his
I
last
was
turn.
able to break out of it. Last turn.
Okay, 22 works. So you take your tuning fork sword.
So yeah, the split sword, the kind of green fire surrounding the edges, the lightning crackling in the middle, it slams right into it, and I am going to cast Divine Smite as well, using up a first level spell slot, my last one. To do
Come on, don't kill him. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
You made this a competition.
Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
So the regular damage is 6, and then I roll 2d8 for the Divine Smite because he's an undead, right?
Yes, he is undead.
And oh wow, okay, only an extra 4.
Okay.
Don't
So
kill him. Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
That's it. That's my only
all right,
attack.
so 6 and then minus 4. So you see as you come in with this attack and the surge of energy and the blast, he kind of stumbles back a little bit and loses his footing, but he comes back and he
Oh, sorry. Wait, that was only it's plus 1 more d8. Sorry,
okay, do another d8.
misread
Do another one.
Yes.
A 1! That did 1 more damage to him. So he feels as he kind of steps back, he steps on a splinter, and it hurts his foot more. So. All right, Dormorlum, it's your turn.
Roland, I'm coming for you.
No, I got this one. You can just go help somebody else.
I
It's
don't
fine.
hear Roland say this as I go to attack.
Okay, go for it. Roll your attacks. So you come down and it hits. What's your damage?
8.
All right,
First hit.
what's the finishing blow?
The finishing blow. I come across. I slice right at the waist. And just go right in through the gut.
Perfect. So when you come in, just eviscerate it, and you get this sickening sound of just splotching a bucket of spaghetti onto the table as entrails hit the table, and his spleen is still squirting a little bit of blood. Make a dexterity save for me, Roland.
Yeah, because there's one thing I'm good at.
So as you're standing there, you're like, hold on, I've got this, and then he just slaps and it hits down, and then it's just this little tiny, like almost like a ketchup thing just got on your face a little bit.
So I as the ghoul collapses, Dora gets a good look of me just like dead eye staring at him.
Okay.
And then I turn my head and I dead eye stare at the camera like in the office.
Roland, it looks good on you.
That was supposed to be my kill, but okay, I suppose that's all right.
All right.
I'm just gonna sit down. I got paralyzed, and I'm just gonna like collapse to my butt.
Perfect. And that is the end of combat. You guys succeeded, and that's where we're gonna end it for tonight. But let's go ahead and divvy out some XPs.
Woo.
From
Well
Kia.
done, everyone.
Oh,
Good work. Good work.
What is that? Okay, so that's 3 kills for Dora, right?
One over here.
I think that's 3 for me, 1 for Vinfina, 2 for Vinfina, 1 for Tiger Lily.
Okay, let's 200.
And then 1 for me.
1, 2,
And 1 for Roland.
7.
I'll keep track of these, because that's fun.
Right.
Kill counts.
Times 7 divided by 1, 2, 3.
Does Tiger Lily get any?
Yeah, she get 2. Let me track that. 1 second. 1400. If you want to share XP with her, that's fine. Multiplied by 4. Oh wait, no.
No,
Divided by 4.
3. Tiger Lily doesn't count as a player.
Okay, so that's 466.6, so let's just round that up to make it an even 470.
Each?
I mean, technically it's, yes, each.
Nice. Get a bunch more experience when...
Yeah, when it's not divvied up between 7 people. So, and what I'm going to leave you with at this point is, as you guys have kind of like huffing and puffing, coming from the distance, Vinfina behind you, you hear the of shoes on stone, and then you start hearing a clapping, slow clap, as someone walks forward, and you hear echoing in this chamber a very, very smooth, buttery voice coming from over here by the staircase. And as you kind of see descending the staircase, you see an unknown figure from, let's see, I think Dora Morland, you'd be able to see him. Vedfina, you'd be able to see him at some point. You see a tiefling walking down the steps. Well done! And that's where we'll end it.
What's going on? Who's that? Who's clapping?
So that's where we're gonna pick it up next time. Leave a little intrigue for you guys as a little bit of an epilogue.
Yeah, intrigue for me.
More to kill.
So as you guys are done with that, they're in this room again. As you guys have seen this, I'll just save you a little bit of time on this. When you see the ghouls, as you on closer inspection, are running around with nothing but a loincloth, so they don't really have anything on their persons unless you want to take personal trophies.
Yeah, I'm good.
So, those guys
Exploding skulls.
are deleted.
I'm gonna make like I'm gonna make like, you know, it's like a bunch of spikes that go on like a shield that I carry on my back with
Okay.
skulls on top of them.
That would be perfect.
I walk around, it's
Kind of clattering.
Yeah,
It's like those little keychain ornaments that you put on your cell phone that people used to buy, except it's like really excessive and it's people.
yeah, that's where I'm going.
That's perfect.
My goal in life is to be as horrifying as possible.
I'm a murder hobo. I need to look like one. So
I need more skulls for the skull throne.
perfect. So speaking of everything, thanks everybody for joining the stream. Next week, I think obviously next Thursday on the 16th, we have our D&D game for the other group that we have running, the Broken Spear. But if you want to tune in, yes, Dragon Fight for the next one. That'll be really fun. That's 9 p.m. Mountain Time. If you do want to tune in again here for the Fated Few, what's the 17th looking like for everybody that's here?
Probably not the 17th for me.
Okay. What about the 24th?
24th, I don't believe I have anything going on.
Okay. 24th. How about? I'll send out a text to them as well, just to make sure everybody's good with it. But if everyone here at least is good, then we've got the majority.
Yeah, 17th. My brother's in town, so that won't be good. So the 24th would be great.
Okay, so 24th of August.
Your brother Ephraim.
Is it Ephraim's?
No. Caleb.
Caleb. Okay, cool. Right on. 24th of August.
Normal name.
Yeah, Caleb and his wife are in town, so, and that's my. So I took Friday off and.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. All right, so we will plan on the 24th unless we hear otherwise. So those of you who are tuning into the stream, the next time that you're going to be able to see us, the here with the Faded Few is going to be on the 24th. That game starts at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, so it's not next Friday, but the one after that. So thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, if you want to donate to Extra Life, go ahead and jump over to our Twitch channel, fuzzy-squirrel.tv or twitch.tv/thefuzzysquirrel. Or sorry, Twitch TV Fuzzy Squirrel, not the Fuzzy Squirrel. Both of which they'll have down in the description, a link for everybody. So thanks again for popping in. We do Extra Life all year long, charity for the kids at Children's Miracle Networks. It seems like this year we've been dipping into that fund ourselves with all 3 of our children. So it's a good cause. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions or anything else, just hit us up in the chat. So see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.